or walked away from the trenches, from the dirt, from the practitionership, I've doubled down on it.
I would love to kind of dig into this point.
Kieran's so happy.
You could, Gary, you could do literally anything you want to do with your life, right? Your latest book is on day trading attention. You basically taught a whole generation how to do that in the Web 2.0 the Web 2 era. One of the things that we find with marketers, and I know you manage marketers or spend a bunch of time with marketers, is today marketers want to graduate to strategy really quickly, right? Like, oh, like I've done a year's work, now I'm a strategist. And like someone else would do the actual craft, but I'll direct them to do the craft. What do you say to people like that? Because you're deep in the craft all this time, today, like each and every day you're in the craft. Like, what do you say to people like that?
That's a great question, brother. Look, I'm obsessed with strategy, right? So first, it makes sense. Like, I couldn't comprehend not overthinking about this stuff. It's my favorite part. But I would say to people, the second you take your hand off the wheel, you become a worse driver.
Right.
And so I do believe that, let's go very high up. The sole reason Fortune 500 CMOs really struggle with today's marketing is they are so removed, to your point. So removed. They don't even have some of these apps on their phone, let alone consume the creative that works on it, let alone make the creative that works on it. Think about that. They are so uncomfortably removed. And so for me, the reason I like being in the craft, it gives me a currency, a pulse of its actual success with the end consumer. But this is also challenging. Here's why. First of all, if you're in the Fortune 5,000, so let's include private equity based owned businesses and Series D VC backed startups.
Sure.
If you're at that level, a lot of your marketing isn't even in the trenches. Fortune 500 continues to overspend on television, continues to overspend on traditional things. I mean, it is flabbergasting how much Fortune 500 companies spend on print, magazines and newspapers. There are many companies in fashion and other areas that spend more on print than they do on social creative. Do you know how insane that is? So, first of all, if you're Fortune 5000, you're running on reports, not on truth, right? Internal MMAs, justifying media spend that are fake. Creative is being done by creative agencies that want to make television ads. On a good day and on a bad day, want to make banner ads for the web. So it's a muckery there. As you go underneath that, you have a lot of founders that start companies doing all the social creative, doing all the copywriting, doing the website, doing the email, and it's great. And then they get bougie, especially the under 40-year-old set. I get it. They want to get to the Lambos and the private planes and the vacations and the pretty girls and the pretty boys and all the things that they want. And they start to delegate, and they have fast dreams that also leads to quick vulnerabilities. And so, I think you're right, my man. I'm pumped to see the way you jumped in and asked with passion, because I do think it's the biggest variable out there. And I think in a world where money got expensive, right? Meaning raising capital is expensive now. And in a world of post iOS 14.5, and let's call it what it was, the ones that figured out that Facebook, when I was yelling